Okay, so I wanted to do an update on from my last two videos that I posted. I posted a video of how I wanted to find out that I was pregnant on Thanksgiving, and I was up with my in-laws for Thanksgiving, and I took a pregnancy test and it was negative. And I expressed how I was bummed because I really wanted to tell everyone on Thanksgiving Day that I was pregnant. And then I posted a video of me telling Thomas that I was pregnant, and that was after Thanksgiving. And so what happened was I was pregnant on Thanksgiving, but it was too early to tell. And I got a positive pregnancy test on December 4th. And that's the video of me telling Thomas that I'm pregnant. So I'll kind of start from the beginning, and I'll try to make it short and not too graphic. I got the positive pregnancy test, and we immediately started planning, and we decided that we were going to surprise everyone for Christmas. So we didn't tell anyone in our family other than my cousin, who's my best friend, Ashley, and my two best friends, Haley and Amanda. And Haley was going to do announcement photos the next week. And we were going to send them out as Christmas cards so everyone could find out in their Christmas cards that we were expecting. Hello? So then on December 7th, I woke up and I went to the bathroom and I noticed that I was spotting. It wasn't a lot though, but I've had a miscarriage in 2009, and then with my pregnancy with Tucker, we almost lost him. So I'm very paranoid, and I knew it wasn't right. So I went to the hospital. I went up to the emergency room, and they brought me in for an ultrasound, and they tried to do the one on my belly, and they couldn't see it with the belly one, so they said they would have to do a vaginal one. And I was really terrified because I'm a really big baby with anything like that. So they did the vaginal one, and I wasn't allowed to see anything, and Tom wasn't allowed in the room or anything like that. And go ahead. So he wasn't allowed in the room or anything, and I was in there by myself. And the lady was really nice, but she wasn't allowed to tell me anything. I couldn't see the screen, nothing. Like, she had it inside of me, and I kept saying, "Do you see something? Do you see a heartbeat? Do you see the baby? Anything?" And she's like, "I'm so sorry, I can't tell you anything." And I just sat there, and I cried the entire 30-minute thing. It was awful. And when she pulled it out of me, there was just blood all over the table, and I knew right then that it was over. And so I asked the lady, I said, "Is this normal? Do you bleed after the vaginal sonograms?" And she just looked at me and said, "Sometimes maybe." And I knew right then that it was over, and she didn't even believe what she was telling me. And so she let me get dressed, and when she left the room, I noticed that the ultrasound screen had 8 side photos and from me. And so I kind of snuck over there and looked at them, and I could see where there was supposed to be a baby and there wasn't. And I just knew right then it was just over. And so they brought me into a hospital room, and Tom and Tucker met me in there. And I just cried and cried and cried and waited for the doctors to come in, and they had taken blood to see what my HCG level was, and so the doctor came in and said we couldn't find anything on the ultrasound, we couldn't find the baby, so that means that you're either extremely early or you've already lost it. And I said, well, I had to have lost it, you know, it may be too early to see it, but this blood isn't a very good sign. And he told me my HCG level was at 10, and so that also told me that I lost it, because my at-home pregnancy tests require at least 25, and so obviously it had gone down. But he wanted me to come back Tuesday, which is today, for testing to see if my HCG level doubled or not. And I'm really disappointed with how they dealt with it, because, okay, maybe there was a little bit of hope, tiny bit of hope, but, and that's fine if he wanted to leave me with hope, if that made him feel better. But he didn't prepare me whatsoever for the miscarriage. They gave me a piece of paper that said, if your symptoms worsen, call. And that was literally one sentence on the page. Call or come in if your symptoms worsen. That was it. And I don't know what that means. If my symptoms worsen, if I bleed more. I was bleeding more at that point and they weren't acknowledging it. So, that was that. And I could see the looks on the nurses' faces, and they were all, you know, I'm so sorry. I could tell that they knew what was going on, and yet the doctor himself wasn't acknowledging it, and that really upsets me. So that day I cried a lot. I went over to my friend Haley's house, and I called her into the bathroom, and she looked and she said, that's too much blood, Amber, it's over. And so I cried more, and I ate a lot of food that I didn't feel guilty for. And I drank a lot of caffeine because I could, and then I went home, and then I went to my grandparents that night and saw some family, and kind of was able to talk to some people. And then I went home, and I didn't know how long this was going to last. So the next day, we were going over for a late Thanksgiving dinner with my mom, and we were going to decorate the Christmas tree afterwards. And during dinner, I started getting extremely nauseous, and that happened when I was in labor with Tucker. I puked the entire labor, 25 hours of labor, 3.5 hours of pushing. I puked every 2 minutes, pretty much. They had a bag underneath my chin the whole time. I started getting really nauseous, and I bared through it, but then as we started decorating the Christmas tree, I started getting extremely bad contractions, like full-on contractions. My stomach would harden, my back was hurting. It was started to take the breath out of me. I went into the bathroom, and I cried a lot because I was bleeding a lot more, and I remember feeling extremely sad hearing everybody in the living room laughing and having a good time, and I was in the bathroom and my baby was dead, and I had to deal with it, and I was extremely upset. So I came out, and Tom found me, and we decided that we were going to leave early. So I got to watch Tucker put his very first ornament on the tree, and then we left. So I went home, and by the time I got home, I felt like I was in early stages of labor, and I took a warm bath to try to help, and it did help a little bit, but not much. And I decided to lay down in my bed and just watch some shows on my computer. And about an hour in, the contractions were hitting about 5 minutes apart. And then I started having to like breathe through them, and then it got to like 4 minutes apart, and then eventually it was 2 minutes apart, and I had Tom come in with Tucker, and I nursed Tucker to sleep, and he slept through the whole thing, but Tom sat there and rubbed my feet and talked to me the whole time, and we just played some soft music and cried and prayed, and I had 6.5 hours of contractions, and then finally I felt it all just come out, and it all just did it at once. Essentially, I felt like I had a small scale birth right at home, and all in all, I'm actually extremely happy for that experience because I felt like it gave me closure. And after it came out, I instantly felt relief, and I went right to sleep. And I got a really good night's sleep, and I woke up in the morning and I had no more pain, and I was barely bleeding, and that was yesterday morning. And today, I'm still not in very much pain. I get a cramp here and there, but nothing too much, and I still am not bleeding very much, and I feel like it's just about over. This morning, I was supposed to go in for some testing, and the testing that the hospital wanted me to come back for, and I decided that I didn't want to get up at 6 a.m., so we pushed it back, and I'm supposed to go at when Tom's off work, which is, he gets off at 5, so I'll probably go around 5:30. And we just decided that me getting a good night's sleep was a little bit more important than getting up at 6 a.m. and doing that. So they're for sure going to do more blood work. I don't know if they're going to do another sonogram or not, but they're going to have to figure out if I did it all on my own or not, and if I didn't, then I'm likely going to have to get a D&C, and I'm absolutely terrified to do that. So, I'm praying really hard that it's all over and I did it myself. And so, I just really hope, I love you. I just really hope that they decide that I don't need a D&C. So, that's where I'm at with this. And emotionally, I'm doing a lot better than I was in the beginning. And I actually ended up seeing a counselor. Hi. Thank you. I ended up seeing a counselor yesterday, and I got to talk to her for like an hour. And I was asking her why she felt that I ended up having to deliver, essentially, instead of just kind of miscarrying as I went. And she told me that my body is kind of on a mapping system because I gave birth a year and a half ago, and I'm still nursing. Those hormones are still in my body that told my body that you have a baby inside of you that is not doing well and it needs to come out. So we're going to do it all at once, and we're going to do the whole thing. So my hormones were actually what caused the labor, and I guess this is common. I started reading online afterwards, and a lot of women have experienced that. And my miscarriage that I had before was nothing like that. It was just like a heavy period. I didn't have too much pain. It was fine. And I moved on. This one was very traumatic for me. It was hard. So, that's why that happened. She does not believe that I miscarried because I was nursing. She encouraged me to continue nursing. She encouraged me to plan on tandem nursing if that's what I want. And she said that there has never been a link to breastfeeding causing a miscarriage. So I'm going to continue to nurse and hope to tandem nurse. However, we have to wait 3 months to start trying again, and I need to gain about 10 pounds. I would love to gain 10 pounds. I'll be happy with 5. I'm at 87 pounds right now. If I could be 95, that would be really, that would be really ideal. I feel pretty healthy at 95 pounds. At 87, I feel like I'm withering away. Like, I feel shaky all the time. I have no appetite right now at all, and I'm hoping that that will go away as I deal with the loss of the baby. So, I just need these 3 months to heal, and it'll give us a little bit of time to prepare for a baby. Tom wants to wait until his second birthday now. The loss of the baby was pretty traumatizing for him. He cried a lot. It was traumatic. It was intense. He and I ended up deciding to name the baby, and we named it Hope. We actually both separately thought of that name, and he came home from work and we both said it, and you know, we felt like it was kind of meant to be. So that was kind of closure. For me, the labor and all of that was closure for me, but I felt like Tom needed the closure of naming her and moving on. So Tom is doing better now. He's doing better than I am. And but he's still sad, and we're still talking about it, and I don't know how long it'll take to move on. We're very sad. We tried for quite a few months to get this baby, and then it was ripped away from us a lot faster than we wanted. So anyways, so that is the update, and I don't know when I'll make another video. If I get the DNC, I will probably make another video. Otherwise, I might just wait a little while to see where this goes. I would like to wait 3 months to start trying again, but we'll see. So, alright, thank you for watching. Please be nice. Thank you for watching, and good luck to any of you moms out there watching who might be struggling with something. So anyways, I hope my